My name is Dennis Arthur Connors, and I'm welcoming you to what I'm going to assume is your final course in the Organizational Leadership Program, Orgal 680, which is the Leadership Seminar. This is as you well know, a capstone course. The orientation of the course is quite a bit different from what you're used to in that it's not about learning new things. It's now about you demonstrating what it is you know, can do, and fundamentally believe, having gone through this program. This course is a full semester, which is nice compared to what I call the sprints that you've had, the intensive courses, which are 8 weeks in the past. This is 15 or 16 weeks. But one of the things that we'll no doubt talk about when we have a conference is don't get lulled into a sense that, well, I have a lot of time, because this course does have quite a few moving parts. But before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit about myself and what I fundamentally believe about graduate education. I've been at Gonzaga 22, 23 years now, having come from a number of other teaching posts and leadership posts in academic higher education. Before coming to organizational leadership, I directed a program in the School of Education at Gonzaga for 10 years called the Leadership Formation Program. It was a program dedicated, master's and doctoral level, dedicated to preparing superintendents, program administrators, and principals. Prior to that, I was an academic vice president in Chicago for a number of years, and prior to that, a dean at a community college. I was at Washington State University, which was my first higher ed teaching post, where I taught educational administration at the master's and doctoral level. Before that, I've been a principal, assistant superintendent in the K-12 system, and so I've had the opportunity to both practice leadership as well as teach about it. And as you can see by my gray hair, towards the end of a career, and I find myself very much engaged in helping students like yourself master the art of leadership. Having said that, this course is founded on a number of principles that I believe in. One is in graduate education, I believe fundamentally that there ought to be rigor, there ought to be relevance, and there ought to be relationships. Think of a three-legged stool. That's how I think about it. But this course will have all three of those legs in there. It is a rigorous examination of you, determining whether or not you can meet the standards of content knowledge, as the syllabus talks about, a broad conceptual view of leadership, analytic and critical thinking skills, discovery. You'll be doing some case analysis, and you'll be doing a fair amount of writing in this course, professional writing, graduate level writing, and writing from a standpoint of a consultant. You'll be working in a team, because that's critical in leadership. It's about values, so you'll be reflecting strongly on values and values and ethical decision making. Those are the concepts, those are the outcomes that this course is intended to for you to demonstrate. I am most interested not just in what you know, but what you can do with what you know. Leadership is not just about knowing things, it's about being able to do things, to being about motivating people to tackle tough problems. So this course in particular, as a capstone course, has those elements attached to it. As I said, it's a different course. It is 13 weeks or 15 weeks, depending on whether it's a summer or fall or spring semester. The outcomes are pretty much listed on the syllabus, and the text that we're going to be using, we're only be using one text, and that's Barbara Kellerman's work on Leadership Essential Selections on Power, Authority, and Influence. we'll be using that as a seminar text. And the syllabus goes into great detail about how that works. There are connections or links within this course site into APA, but I'd strongly urge, if you don't have an APA 6th edition manual, you get your hands on one, because you will need it in this course. And there's a Harvard Business School course pack. There's a case that we'll be using, one case for the entire semester. That's Jonah Creighton, the A case, the first case. And you'll be using that in your group presentation, and you'll be using that in the case analysis. And there are two readings. One is George Orwell's Shooting an Elephant, and the other is a leadership parable that will become at the end of the course. Those are in PDF files that are attached within the modules themselves. You'll see that this is broken up into three major modules. The dates, requirements, outcomes, all the rest are listed in what some have said is excruciating detail within the syllabus. There's because you are in the pre-course module, you no doubt know that there are a couple things that you need to do pretty quickly before the course even begins. But those three modules will move quickly. Make sure that you schedule yourself for a conference, which is in this first full week of September. The dates are articulated and outlined there. You send me you'll send me an email requesting a specific date and time, and I'll confirm with you and place you on the list. That first conference is intended to talk a little bit about your program, about your writing skills, about the support that's here in the course, as well as other things that may be on your list. And then, of course, at the end of the course, there'll be a half-hour conference the last week of the semester, and I will provide you with the questions that we'll go over about halfway through the semester. I want to point out one thing before you begin, and that is the support that's built into this course. There are, as I said, a number of moving parts. This is a high-stakes course. It is not a letter grade. It's simply a pass-fail course. There's a cutoff score, which is pretty well laid out within the syllabus. And each of the writing requirements kind of builds on itself and becomes worth more, and the stakes become higher. We have a very marvelous TA in this course who's worked with me for a number of years. She's an excellent writer. She's going to provide writing seminars as well as opportunities for you to submit portions of your work in the either portfolio or the case analysis, where she can comment and give you feedback. She does the technical aspects. I will do any content that feedback on content that may be beneficial to you. But I would strongly urge you to take advantage of the support that's built into this course. Folks in previous courses that have taken advantage of it have all reported that it's been very helpful in answering certain questions, so they're not wandering around wondering if they're doing what's required. I make one assumption when you submit any requirement in this course, is that when you hit the submit button, that it is your best work. There are no rewrites in this course. There are no sample papers in this course. It is an expectation that by the end of the program you do have some of the basic skills for critical thinking and analysis, that you understand APA formatting to some extent. You don't have to be experts. There's lots of ways for you to answer any questions you have, but that when you do submit something, it is your best, and it comports with the requirements that are articulated within the syllabus. Make sure that you understand the syllabus, and when we have that first conference, if you have any questions, that would be the time to clarify them. I think that's enough for now. Know that I'm very interested in working with you and supporting you in your work, as well as assessing how you meet the standards. I feel that that's absolutely a critical aspect, that there's adequate challenge within a graduate level program and course. There certainly is in this course, but that there's adequate individual and collective support. My job is to determine what is the best support for all of you who are in this course. It's not the same semester to semester. It's different for different groups. And as important, if not more, individually, how can I support you? So that will be part of the conversation we'll have in the first initial conference. It's good to be working with you. I know that many of you are at the end of your program, if not all, and I understand, and my memory is not so dim as to remember what it's like to finish a graduate program. The goal is to also get done, to do your best work, but to get done as well, and I understand that. My job is to help you do it so that when you turn around at the end of this course, you can say, I'm proud of what I've produced. It's the best that I could do, and that I can say an individual has met and or exceeded the standards that are set in this course for this program. I'll look forward to seeing you online. Should you have any questions, please let me know.